Do you have a hard time getting hard? Do you find it harder to get your dick hard? Well, you know what's harder than getting hard to get hard? Not being able to get hard to be hard to get hard. Viagra. Buy some. It's not that hard to make it hard.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
As here's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
But it ain't about how hard you hit.
And I'd hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
It's about how hard you can get hit.
And you might need, at some point in your life, a little massage on your ass.
And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Moving Forward podcast. We are joined by the Sparta Boys, Nate Robbins, Matt Maurer, and making his introductory appearance, Ben Wilcox. Ben, say hello.
Hello. How's it going? Good to see you all.
Yes. And we know there is no Michigan State bias on the show. We'll get right into it, but
Absolutely not.
Michigan State this weekend, -4.5, traveling to 2-3 Indiana. Does anyone else want to put their life savings on Michigan State -4.5, or are we just happy with a win this weekend? Because I feel pretty good about this game. I don't think Penix Jr. is playing in this one. He's been hurt, so I feel really good about Michigan State 4.5.
Yeah, I think that's the appropriate feeling that you should have based on everything we've seen so far this year. I was a little nervous about this game when I initially, before I looked into Indiana at all, because I haven't paid much attention to them. And just looking at their team, the way they're built, some of the stats that we've seen, I'm not worried. It doesn't look like a Indiana. I mean, anytime you're going on the road in the Big Ten, there's a little bit of caution, but I feel great about where the team's at. I think it should keep on rolling this week.
Yeah, we're insane. That's about it. I love us.
I love us too.
Did you say Penix isn't playing this week?
I'm pretty sure he's not. I think he got hurt a couple of weeks ago and he hasn't played for a while.
Well, that's too damn bad, because that guy is horrific. I think really bad. So I was when I was looking into the team, just the dude's got double interceptions and touchdowns. His average completion yards is terrible. He's been bad all year. So I was actually looking forward to seeing him.
Well, he killed us last year. So
yeah, that's the problem. Is I was afraid of Penix, even though he's played horribly this year. He's like Adrian Martinez, where if he gets a good game, he could just win a game by himself for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I was worried. He did that to us last year, and I was not looking forward to having to play with him. I'd much rather take the backup, because it's not like the backup came in and played well. So
let's further go into this line, -4.5 MSU. Is this a rat line? Is this Vegas wanting us to take Michigan State 4.5? Because they did the same thing last week against Rutgers, and I think it would have been easy Michigan State money if you would have taken it then, which I did. But I feel weird about Indiana, even though I think Rutgers is a better team and they looked okay against Rutgers, but they still won by a lot. I feel like the same thing against Indiana. I just don't want this team to overlook Indiana and think too much about being 7-0 and playing Michigan in a couple of weeks, which I'm sure all state fans are thinking about right now. And I'm afraid we're overlooking Indiana right now.
For me, it's a total blessing that we have the bye week in between the Michigan game. I think otherwise I'd be worried about a trap game on the road in the Big Ten. But personally, going to the bye week, I think Mel Tucker is going to have them on the right page, ready to play some good football. I think 4.5 isn't enough. I think it's a classic road Big Ten game where they're trying to bait you into taking the road favorite, but I think not having the touchdown hook is not enough. So I think it's pretty free money. We did the same thing against Rutgers last week. Our offense is too good. Indiana's got a worse defense than Rutgers, believe it or not. I think we might stop them same way we did last week.
Yeah, and I completely agree. And just like Ben said, missing that touchdown there, that's where it would have been. That's where I think they would have needed to put it to make it more dangerous. And I just don't think it's enough. I just truly think we're significantly better than this Indiana team, and I don't see any reason why we don't cover that. I just looking at the game, I don't see a situation in which it's it comes down to a 3-point win, like our game against Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely just the better pure football team. Our offense right now is looking so incredible that we can keep up with anybody right now. So
yeah,
you guys said that 4.5 is just so free right now.
Yeah, this kind of is all right, I think. I don't know. We're 6 games in. Maybe we need to wait a little longer, but I think he might be okay.
One receiver has a down game, the next guy is coming right back up too. So
Yeah, it's weird. It's like
It's
pick your poison with
ridiculous.
that. It's pick your poison with the MSU receivers. It's like you either put your best guy on Naylor and Reed goes off, or you put your best guy on Reed and Naylor goes off. Like it's absolutely insane. They're so give and go. And like Trey Mosley is really good. Like Tyler, or I forget what Lockett's first name is. I just want to call him Tyler Lockett, but whoever Lockett is on our team is good. You have multiple running backs who play well. Like Peyton Thorne looked really, really good last week. He looked awesome against the Rutgers team that's known for their defense. So I feel really good about MSU -4.5. Okay, let's not look ahead too much. Nate, what would you give up for State to beat Michigan in 2 weeks on October 30th? What would you give?
What would I give up? I don't know. It like if I'm being serious about this, I think an appendage probably I probably wouldn't go to the hands. I think I'll take a toe. I'll give a toe. A toe seems fair. I want it so bad. Everything's pointing towards it being, I mean, just an absolute banger. One of the best game that I can remember for between Michigan and Michigan State. It's all adding that way, and that adds even a little more stress to this Indiana game this week, maybe, which isn't great. But with all that being said, I mean, I think a toe. I think a toe is an appropriate answer.
All right, Matt, to you, what would you give up?
Let's see. Maybe the life savings that I would put on Michigan State money line.
That's good.
That one.
There you go.
I'm so confident that State's going to be a home dog for that game too.
No
For sure.
chance.
You think?
Yes. Yes.
I think it's damn near pick 'em.
Yeah.
I could see us giving up a 1.5, but it's no more than a field goal. And I think essentially at the end of the day, it's going to be a pick 'em.
All right, Ben, what are you giving up then?
I would give up. I would fail the class I'm currently working on and do another semester of school in order for us to get the win.
Good answer.
Assuming we're undefeated. If we lose to Indiana, then it's not as meaningful. But to have Michigan State's name in the conversation of college football playoffs when those rankings start coming out, it's way earlier than I expected in the Tuck era. And I think to have that would put me in a very good place, and I'd be willing to do more school if that were the case.
I agree.
I was about to say the same thing, but I just happened to be looking at my student loans earlier today. And it turned me off that idea real quick. I went, okay, let's think about this financially.
That's fair enough.
Okay, I would give up my knees. I would take a kneecapping from a mafia boss where they just beat one of my knees in with a baseball bat for a win.
Wow.
As long as I get like 24 hours to party after they win before that happens.
That's understandable.
That's fair enough.
I agree.
I came in on the low end with just a toe. Thank you.
Which toe?
Probably one of the webbed ones.
That's what I was curious about.
Was that
If you
a
just go
2-for-1?
pinky end, or if you would.
No, I'll cut out one of the middle ones.
Yeah.
Really make Nate a worse swimmer than he already is. All right.
Exactly.
Let's move on to our lock segment for college football. I'll start because I don't want anyone to take mine. I will be taking Oklahoma State on the road undefeated against Texas, who is an underdog, or Oklahoma State is an underdog on the road against Texas. Texas with a heartbreaker last week. I don't know how you get up off the floor after that crazy game that you end up losing. I think Oklahoma State's a good team. They're undefeated, 5-0, 12th in the country. I like Oklahoma State. Take them with the points, but personally, I'll be taking the money line on Saturday.
What is that line at, Jake?
-4.5, -5.5 in favor of Texas.
All right.
All right, Nate.
Okay, so I saw the Clemson line, and I was almost tempted to do it again, just in spite of my last Clemson. But no, I'm not going to, because DJ Ugalele is horrific, and Dabo is a selfish asshole. So instead, we're flipping to Nebraska -4, playing at Minnesota this week. This Nebraska team is way too good for its record. Like, they should not be a 3-4 team. I watched them the full game last week against Michigan. They looked really good and came up short. They looked really good against us, despite, I mean, in that game, that was an outlier from Peyton Thorne. But this defense is legit. I don't know if you guys remember that. I believe number 93, the D tackle. he's a freak. He's 6'3", massive dude. All their defensive linemen are huge. And then I thought their corners both looked pretty good. Now, I say this, they do get beat over the top a fair amount, but they play really tough on the edge. And this Minnesota team, their quarterback, he doesn't have the deep ball like U of M had last week, like MSU's had at times. So they like to run the ball. I don't think that works against this front. I think Nebraska is super underrated and going under the radar just because of the record. It's totally fair, but just as a person who's watched a fair amount of Nebraska football, I think they're better than what the record indicates. And for that reason, I'll be taking the -4 at Minnesota.
Okay, Matt?
Well, I was thinking Nate's as well originally, but I will switch it and go back to the first one that I had thought of, back on the roll of, well, that looks kind of cool for my picks. So we're going to take NC State -3 against Boston College. Reasoning for this one, per usual, is a scroll down. Yeah, that looks good. Worked for me so far. I have no reason to think against it. We are hammering NC State -3.
No, your locks have been unreal, and your logic thus far has been flawless insofar as it's just, we'll take a peek, see what we like. And it's been great.
Boston College isn't, therefore it should be NC State is a better team.
There you go.
I love it.
Okay, Ben?
I also had Nate's pick, but I will switch it up. That Nebraska lock is so free. I can't believe the line. It should be at least 10 in that game. Minnesota sucks. They lost to Bowling Green. But whatever. My new lock, Alabama -17, coming off a loss against Texas A&M. I think they smoke Mississippi State. Saban's pissed off. That is a game where they should win by 30, maybe even 40, just to make a statement. I see Saban round the guys up. They still have lots to play for this year. They can still make a college football playoff if they win out. I think Saban's going to have those guys riled up, and I think they might just blow the brakes off them.
All right.
That was my backup I had written down, Ben. That's funny. I love that pick.
Yeah.
All right, then let's transition into our new ride or die with our picks. We'll be doing it for the college picks, and we'll be doing for the NFL. Ben, just a quick explanation. We'll go over everyone else's locks. So Ben will pick one that he would like to ride with this weekend, and then one that he absolutely hates and he'd like to stay away from. So he's going to tail one of the boys and he's going to fade one of the boys. Ben, whose pick do you love and who do you hate?
For reasons I mentioned before, I think that Nebraska pick is an absolute lock from Nate. So I will be riding with that. I would say that I'm probably afraid of the Texas game, although I still think Oklahoma State team can win the game. I think it's all going to come down to whether Texas still has a reason to play. I don't know if they're going to come off just being sluggish and like our season's over after that loss, or if they're going to come back with some kind of vengeance. I don't know. So I liked all your picks. I'd probably take them all, but if I were to die per se, I would die Jacobs.
Wow. All right, Matt, your thoughts. Who are you riding with? Who are you dying with?
I mean, I was going to take Nate's as well, so I feel like I got to stick with that one. I'm definitely riding that Nebraska one. Nebraska they, like you said, should not have the record they do. They're way better than what that shows. So no reason to think otherwise at this point, at least. So definitely think they're going to come out and smoke Minnesota. And then as for my die, I think I'm also taking Jake as the die. I'm sorry, but that Alabama pick I like a lot as well. I think they're going to come out and smoke them. Again, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I think that's the worst of the other three.
Talk about a rat line. This is a rat line. Okay, State, easy. All right, Nate, what do you think?
Well, I kind of alluded to it already, but my second favorite pick that I saw on the slate for the week was Alabama for all the same reasons Ben said. There is no way Saban hasn't been the most pissed off man in America for the past 7 days. So he will come in. I think the team's going to look great, and there could definitely be some alternate spread action there, throwing that number up higher. I think you get some really good value on that. As far as a die, I was tempted a little. I don't hate anybody's pick, actually. But I think I'm gonna go law of averages and die on Matt's pick and take it, roll with Boston College just because he's been so dynamic on this gimmick he's running and just peeking at the slate and picking them. And it's probably gonna bite me in the ass. But if I had to pick one to die on, I'm gonna pick law of averages. Matt comes down into earth this week and can't keep dominating the lock section.
Okay, moving on to me. I'm gonna ride with Nate, Nebraska -4. I hadn't seen that line yet because I was looking at my phone and it was only the ESPN top 25 teams, and these aren't top 25 teams. So I'll ride in with Nebraska for all the reasons he said. I think they're better than they actually are. And I'm actually also going to die with Matt's pick as well. I actually hate that pick. I really love Syracuse in that game a lot. Or no, is it BC? It's BC. Oh, I don't hate it as much. I like whoever Syracuse plays this week. I thought it was NC State. Never mind. Extra pick. I love Syracuse this weekend. But then I'll swivel to Ben's Bama 17 or -17. I'm nervous about it. I don't think this Bama's team is as good as we think. They're not as good as previous years. I think Georgia's by far the best team. And then showing that you can lose to a Texas A&M team that's been pretty bad. Lost your starting quarterback early in the year. I don't like it. I don't like Bama -17, but I will parlay all 4 of these picks into one parlay, and I will take it.
Of course. As well.
I like it. Yep.
All right. Moving on to the next things. We are going on to love hate. Haven't done it in a while. Feel like we need some unsports related themes. So I'll start with my love hate. My love hate is spooky drinks. They're currently $5 at Applebee's, and tomorrow we are going, and I believe Matt will be there too, and it will be fun. And I'm excited for spooky drinks.
I'm very excited. They're gonna be tasty.
Yeah, very tasty. They look fun. They look creepy. They put little gummy worms and gummies on top of the stuff. Yeah, it looks awesome.
I guess I'll go for my my love of the week. Been seeing a lot of TikToks on some pretty sweet Legos recently.
I've been all over Lego talk too. Yeah.
Legos are so cool. And just as a little thing I have on my desk that I keep here, my little cousin made me this, and I think that this thing is sick. Just a little.
Yeah. I love it.
Legos are sweet. Don't matter what age you are. They're always great.
They are great. I've been all over Lego TikTok recently of people buying different Legos of Star Wars stuff. And I really want to buy a Lego, even though I'm 23 years old.
Doesn't matter. I'll take it any day of the week.
Any day. All right, Nate, what's your love this week?
Well, I know you just said, let's get off some sports topics, but my love is related to sports gambling. And my love this week is hot streaks. And that is because I'm a very average gambler in my net total over time. I think I'm very average, but I'm on a heater right now, boys. I can't be defeated. Over my last 25 straight bets, I am 19-6. That includes 2 double unit hits and 2 high odd picks. This also includes 2 parlays, one which was plus 500, one was plus 400, and then I've missed a couple smaller parlays here and there. But I have been on a hot streak, and as a very average gambler, I love it, and you have to celebrate it.
Nate, I expect your pick. I expect some picks this weekend. Then I would like to be texted some picks.
All right. Well, I think if I do that, I might see. The other thing is the last time I was on the pod, I was on a bit of a cold streak. And then
you're 0 for 4 with your locks.
Yeah. Following the last time I was on this podcast is when the hot streak began. It's been 2 weeks. Over the past 2 weeks, I'm 19-6 on straight bets. So it's only all downhill now. And for that reason, I think I need to love it while it's here.
Have to.
Okay, Ben.
In the spirit of Nate's, I'll quickly share. I also am feeling it in the betting world. The same game parlays were an absolute mistake by DraftKings, and I've been abusing them. I made 210 off a parlay. Matt and I did this Sunday, and I've hit a couple others as well. The odds are just not correct. You can create your narrative for a game, and then if it plays out that way, it's way more likely that it plays out that way than the odds you're given. So I think you can steal a lot of money that way. But
I'd also like to be texted these picks, please.
Yeah, I was very sad I missed the giant parlay from last week.
Sweater. Oh my Lord.
But my real love, I on the tone of the Legos, I also am a total nerd, and I've been watching this Dota TI. It's like the largest esports competition in the world for like the prize pool. I know nothing about it, but I've been staying up till like 6 a.m. every night watching it for absolutely no reason. Totally fucked my sleep schedule. I am destroyed. I'm missing class. I'm failing assignments. But this shit is so hype. I'm losing my mind every single night by myself. 5 a.m. just losing it for no reason. I don't even know what's going on. So I've been enjoying that a ton. I'm going to do it again tonight. My favorite team plays at 5 a.m. So if you guys are up, highly recommend it. I'm
Set an
obsessed.
alarm.
Yeah, I don't plan on being up. I've been coming off of stupid things that I don't understand. I just finished Squid Games not too long ago, and the amount of like people that I've watched play Roblox Squid Games over this past like week has been insanely high. It's fucking electric. I watched PewDiePie play watched PewDiePie play Squid Games for an hour and a half the other
Oh
night.
my lord.
It was amazing. It's hysterical. But I understand that part.
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to our hates. Some things that happened this week that we don't really enjoy. I'll start with mine again. So Elena has this grill, and we finally filled it with propane outside, and she's been wanting me to grill stuff whenever I come over. So this week I made some pork chops on the grill. They were delicious, but it's one of the grills that doesn't automatically turn on. You have to pump it full of gas, and they don't have a long lighter. So I have to like throw a match in there, and I threw a match in there and I burned off most of the hair on my knuckles. So that was my hate, because I love starting fires, but I don't like being hurt by fires. So I'm kind of a Neanderthal in that way. So the fires scared me.
Hey, as long as those pork chops came out good, then it was worth it.
Yeah. Oh, them pork chops were real good.
Yeah, the match drop thing with the grill, I've never done it before. I never want to be in a situation where I have to do it, because I know I'm going to waste 17 matches and then I won't be expecting it. And by the time I'm not expecting it to work,
Dude,
and I will burn.
That was my fault. Is I just kept on clicking the thing to pump in more gas, and then when I threw it in there, I was like, boom, fireball. And it was a lot.
I'm gonna clean my eyebrows the first time I have to use one of those. That's for sure.
Okay, Matt, what is your hate this week?
My hate this week is loose change. It's kind of nice when you like can add it all up like after a long time and you finally get enough to do with it, or it like adds up to enough money, but it's all over the place. What is change even used for nowadays? Hardly.
No,
it
I
just
don't
kind of
know.
sits there and it doesn't really do anything. And I don't know, it just gets everywhere and it's kind of annoying me.
I know loose change is annoying, but there is no more feeling of electricity and like passion in your life than when you collect a thing of loose change and you take it to one of those machines at like Meijer or Walmart and you dump it all in there and they give you cash. It's an instant boner every single time.
Oh yeah.
The intermediate portion of loose change is awful, because the early portion,
exactly, yeah.
The early portion, it's manageable enough that you can like kind of figure it out and use it. But once you get to that intermittent stage where there's like enough of it where you kind of got to dig through it to find the right coin, like if you're doing whatever with it, that's a mess. And then the end stage is actually pretty good. So it sounds like you're in this intermittent stage, and I don't wish it on my worst enemy.
Oh yeah, no, I'm right in the middle where I don't quite have enough to like put it in the machine so that it like actually gives me enough money to do anything with. So it's just kind of like sitting there and staring at me weird, and I don't like it.
Okay, Ben, what is your hate this week?
My hate is class schedules, for the reason that for some reason I'm taking 20 credits this semester. For some reason, every class decides to have their exams, papers, whatever, their major assignments all due on the same Friday of the same fucking week. So this last week, I am working my tits off like 12 hours a day doing shit. And then all of a sudden this week, they're all like just past exams. So you just finished like the big unit or whatever you're doing. And now I'm just in the lull period where I couldn't feel more productive. And last week I was shitting myself trying to get assignments done. So why can't they have just a slightly better system where some classes can decide to have different things on different weeks? It's ridiculous to me. They all are on the same schedule. It's going to happen to me again for this second, third of the semester, and it's going to happen again during finals. It's insane. It sucks ass. And now I'm doing nothing, and I couldn't be more bored. But last week, I couldn't find any time to do anything.
That's brutal.
You would think that they would have things a little better scheduled out.
It's just brutal. Last week, I took 3 exams, wrote a paper, and I did 4 assignments in coding that took me 6 hours each. I was sweating bullets.
That's so brutal. It actually makes me more thankful. My schedule has been fortunately, and I don't have as many credits. I'm at 16, but my schedule has been fortunately staggered, where I had a midterm one week, another midterm the next, and then one of my classes is kind of intermittently sprinkled paper assignments, and the other 2 are just staggered quizzes that go throughout the semester. So I lucked into a good situation with that one.
Yeah, that is nice.
Have some newfound appreciation for that.
I couldn't be more jealous.
Okay, Nate, wrap us up. What is your hate?
So I'm going to round about to a second hate right at the end of this, but just real quickly, I hate criminal law. I'm in my criminal law class, and this week, as I was just talking about, I have a midterm this week. It is the criminal law midterm, which I will be taking tonight. And I have spent the most obscene amount of time flipping through pages of way too big of a goddamn textbook, looking at way too specific of laws, and then trying to apply those laws to cases where they really don't ever actually apply.
What's illegal? You can't show your dick to kids.
That is true. We haven't gotten to that unit. I think that's
Very bad.
I think that's
Unit.
where you should be getting that one.
Yeah, unit 69.
It's another school-related gripe on Ben's, but it's been a brutal week of trying to prep for this crim exam or midterm, and hopefully I'll come back to not hating it in a couple weeks. But right now, there's nothing I hate more than that big red textbook. And then my second one, I just wanted to note that I hate Russell Westbrook. I just want to throw that in there.
The season hasn't even started yet, and you're already all the way out.
I was out when he got traded. I'm out in now that I've actually seen him in the purple and gold. I love LeBron, and it makes me so sad that his chances of winning another championship are harmed by that man.
Okay. Hear me out for one thing. I know he sucks. Would this solidify LeBron as the GOAT if he found a way to get Russell Westbrook a ring?
Yes.
Without a doubt. If we have 30 seconds for a Westbrook gripe, I am totally in. The guy is trash. He does not play winning basketball. He cannot win basketball games when it matters. He's going to be playing. The Lakers are going to be playing 4-on-5 in the playoffs when people realize, or when they just do their homework and realize he doesn't shoot. Regular season games, he's going to be fine. He's going to get them the 2 or the 1 in the West, whatever. And then as soon as it comes playoff time, he's going to have to make jump shots, and he won't make jump shots because he never has made jump shots. He's a complete liability without the ball in his hands. He doesn't move without the ball. He needs the ball in his hands, and so does LeBron. The team is just will not mix. So if they don't get rid of him, LeBron is not winning another championship in his career.
Mind you, he's also, it's not like he's good defensively either. At times when he just wants to be that athletic freak, yeah, he's fine defensively. But if you watch him off the ball on defense, the dude gets back cut constantly. He doesn't pay attention. And then when he doesn't want to play defense, he goes soft around screens, doesn't do the little things. He only flashes these crazy blocks or whatever occasionally because he's a freak athlete. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. But on the defensive end, it's all the same problems, not winning basketball. And I hate it.
Yeah. I haven't watched a whole lot of any preseason games. I've watched bits and pieces. Be excited to see how it works in the regular season, but I know the regular season is not indicative of what the playoffs will be. I know that Russell Westbrook will probably get everyone's hopes up by being really good in the regular season, like he always does, and then being trash in the playoffs. So looking forward to that, but the Pistons play in almost 1 week time, and that's the thing that I'm focused on. I think for the first time in a long time, I think I'm more focused on the Pistons season than maybe a LeBron season. And it's kind of weird to say out loud.
That is very goofy.
Yeah.
But also very excited for the Pistons.
Yeah.
Goated.
All right. That was a good love hate. After this, we will now finish with our NFL pick'em and our locks for the NFL. Be right back. Welcome back to the NFL pick'em segment. We will be doing 4 games this week and a lock. Current rankings. I've been doing the most amount of picks. I'm at a perfect 9-9. Couldn't be better. Couldn't be worse. Perfect 9-9. Missed 9 games, won 9 games. Matt is 6-4, and Nate also 6-4. Although the lock's been bad, Nate giving out above 50% winners, which is all you can ask for. Ben, 0-0, his first pick segment. Let's get right into the card. We are going the Cincinnati Bengals at the Detroit Lions, the Bengals -5.5. This game's kind of tough to call, but I'm pretty sure Joe Burrow is playing. The Detroit Lions are losing players now left and right to season-ending injuries. Quintez Cephas probably out for the year, and then also Frank Ragnow, all part of the rebuilding plan. I hope the Lions keep losing. They're going to have to win eventually, but I do not think it's this week. I do like the Bengals. I think they're legit. So Jacob will be taking the Bengals this week, -3.5 against the Lions.
Yeah, I will be doing the same. This Cincy team's been weird. Like, I don't know what to completely think of them. And I know it's in Detroit, but for all the same reasons, like these injuries are adding up. If Dan Campbell is still able to keep morale high in this locker room, he should be fired as an NFL coach and go work as the greatest motivational speaker in the history of humanity.
I was curious where that was going.
Seriously, like, I don't know how this Detroit team keeps getting up and dealing with these tough losses. It's brutal. You hate to see it as a Detroit fan, but I think the -3.5 for Cincy is the right play here.
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Assuming Joe Burrow can like breathe out of his throat, I think the Bengals are. I mean, obviously, just the better team. Poor Lions is all I gotta say about that one. So, yeah.
Ben?
I'm a little afraid of this line. The Lions have been playing teams close, and I know 95% of bets are going to be on the Bengals side of that spread. It just, to me, kind of feels like Vegas is baiting people into taking the Bengals for whatever reason, and Lord knows they know the future. So I am still going to go with the Bengals, but I'm just covering my ass for when the Lions...
a rat line, and you still went with it.
I know.
A rat and you
Those
are
last second field goals.
The only reason I'm not taking the Lions is because they are indeed the Lions, and I know better than to ever bet on them, especially this year, because they've been finding ways to lose left and right. Not even their fault the majority of the time, but I just don't see a world where the Bengals lose this game. And if it's by less than 3 that they end up winning it, so be it. But I'd rather be on the other side of that line.
Makes sense. We all three go Bengals -3.5. Moving on to the next game. It is Cardinals versus the Browns, possibly the game of the week. Cardinals 5-0, traveling to Cleveland, who's 3-2, have lost to some of the best teams in football. Browns off of a tough loss against the Cincinnati Chargers. The Browns actually -3.5 at home. Absolutely shocked me. Ben, where is your heart telling you with this pick? Browns, Cards.
The Cardinals are legit. They're Super Bowl contenders, but this is the week they lose. Going to Cleveland, the best pass rush in the league, in my opinion. Myles Garrett's a freak. He'll be all over Kyler Murray. I think it's just one of those games where the Cardinals aren't going 17-0. They're going to lose a game. And I think it's this week going to Cleveland. It feels like they're ready to have a letdown. So I'm going to take the points as well. I think this is another one. People are going to be all over the Cardinals. I want to be on Vegas's side of this one.
Ben, picking both Ohio teams so far. Nate, your thoughts?
I will be following Ben as well. For a lot of the reasons he said, Arizona's looked great. Kyler's looked great. But this pass rush is different than things that Arizona's seen thus far. Cleveland that run game is freakish. And I know the defense looked bad last week against the Chargers. I was on both sides. It didn't look great with how high scoring it was. But I don't take that completely. I take that as more of an outlier. I think this Cleveland defense is still really good. And I like -3.5 at home.
Okay, Matt?
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. I was not entirely sure. In my eyes, it's kind of a pick 'em, but I do think with the Browns being home and everything, and like you guys said, they've played some pretty damn good teams so far this year. Even if they haven't won some of those games, they've been like close games and everything. So I do think that the Browns they'll find a way to pull out the win in this, and I do like the points.
You guys do understand the Cardinals are -3.5 at home. They're favorites.
You mean the Browns?
The Browns, yeah.
The Browns are favorites. You're taking the Browns and the points.
Yes.
I'll take the Cardinals and the points and the money line. What? The Rams have a better defense and they torch the Rams. Kyler Murray has thrown the ball all over teams so far this year. And I think that they'll do the exact same thing against the Browns, who have a really shitty secondary. I love the Cardinals plus 3.5, and I love their money line even more. I absolutely love it. So I'm happy to be the only one who took the Cardinals this game. Moving on to the next one, the Sunday night special, the Seahawks led by the Fighting Geno Smith versus the Steelers and the immobile Big Ben. Matt, who do you got this game?
Cool.
-5. Currently -5 for the Steelers.
Steelers. Who's home again?
Steelers are home. Steelers -5 at home against the Seahawks.
Yeah, both teams are pretty dang banged up right now. 5's a decent amount of points in my eyes, but I don't know. I'm going to have to go with Steelers on this one. I don't like it, but I'm going with Steelers. I think both teams are banged up, but Steelers being home helps a little bit. I don't know. Steelers -5.
All right, Nate.
I will be rolling with Geno Smith this week. I didn't know what to make of it. I really thought Pittsburgh was going to lose last week at Denver. I didn't completely know what to make of that game, but losing Juju, I know it's fun to make fun of Juju, but the dude legit puts pressure on defenses, makes more opportunities for other receivers like Claypool, and I think not having him definitely impacts. I don't know what to expect from Geno Smith, but I mean, we saw one productive drive, right?
1.5 until he got and threw a pick.
Yeah, there we go. And so I like just taking the points here, expecting two teams that are definitely not what they used to be to play a close game here.
Okay, Ben.
I'm riding with Nate. I'm also taking the Geno Smiths. I think Geno Smith has had an underappreciated NFL career. He gets a lot of flack, but I think he actually was pretty decent, all things considered, with the Jets. And I think that the Steelers are a 4-5 win team this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if not only the game is closer than 5 points, but if the Seahawks manage to pull it out.
I don't know how I feel about the Seahawks being able to pull it out, but I do like them +5. I will roll with you guys on that. I just think the Steelers aren't that legit. I think this game's going to be huge under energy. So if I had to take an official pick on this game, I don't know how good I feel about the +5, but as far as pick them, I'll take it. But if I had to give a pick, I'd definitely take the under in this game. Don't even care what the number is. Just give me the under.
I would agree with that one.
All right. Moving on to Monday night, the Bills versus the Titans. The Bills are the best team in football. The Titans are the Bills are -5.5 on the road against the Titans. I'll go first this one. I love the Bills. Give me the Bills. As long as the Bills are less than a touchdown favorite, I'll be taking them no matter who they play. Give me the Bills.
That's a fair that's a fair assessment. I agree. They're the best team in football right now. I don't know what the MVP odds are right now, but I would imagine Josh and Kyler are kind of neck and neck there. And I too will be taking that -5.5. I don't think this Tennessee team's great. Julio, it sounded like, was back in practice a little bit, so possibly see him Sunday. But I still like the Bills. I think the best team in football. I think this Tennessee team very, very mid. And even on the road, I think Monday night, Josh, he shows up and shows out.
Yeah, same here. Bills -5.5. I think they're super, super good team. And then the Titans are just so spotty. And I mean, they're like a decent team, but they're nowhere near as good as the top tier team, I don't think. So I definitely think I agree with Jake. If the Bills are anything less than a touchdown favorite, it's almost free cash.
Ben?
I'm going with the Bills for similar reasons. I think the game is probably pretty close at the end, but I'm picturing this tie ball game where it's like 24-24. Josh Allen has to make a play and he ends up scoring a touchdown to win by 7. I think the game's going to be close. It's always tough to bet against road underdogs when they're giving up that many points, but or home underdogs, excuse me. But I think the Bills are the best team in football, and I think they're my Super Bowl favorites as of right now. Going into the season, it was the Rams, but if I had to pick a team to win the Super Bowl, it's the Buffalo Bills, and Josh Allen is the MVP.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. All right, let's move on to our lock. We did our ride or die with that. We'll be doing the same thing with this. I will start. Give me the under 50.5, under 50.5 in the Cowboys and Patriots. I think the Cowboys beat the living shit out of the Patriots in this game. So I just don't think the Patriots will be able to score. I see this game being someone like 31-7. I think the Patriots literally could put up 7 points, maybe 10. But I really like the Cowboys. I would have taken their spread, but that's no fun. So I'm going to take under 50.5 Cowboys and Patriots.
Way to avoid the square pick. I mean, is there going to be more money in the world than on Dallas this week -3? I feel like that alone is going to be so dangerous.
It's already up to -4.5.
Is it really? Oh my gosh. Okay. When I had it written down, it was -3. That makes sense. That's fair.
All right, Nate, your lock for NFL.
So I did have Dallas written down originally, but like I said, it's a little square. I didn't love it. I think it hits. I'll probably bet it. But one game that I do really, really like this week is the Chargers +2.5 at Baltimore. I think this Chargers team's obviously very good. We've seen them show out. Again, similar to how I talked about the Browns defense, the Chargers defense, I don't think is as bad as they showed last week in that Browns Chargers matchup. Herbert's incredible. If it weren't for the fact that we have a couple, we have a lot of really good quarterback seasons shaping up right now between Tom, Herbert, and then obviously Josh and Kyler. I think Herbert is like a normal NFL season type of MVP, but this feels a little abnormal. With all that being said, they're getting 2.5 points. I know they're on the road, but this Baltimore team, I don't completely know what to make of them. They seem to be pulling out these games, and I know they've got a lot of nice wins, but like the Colts win, that Colts team isn't incredible, and it took them all the way to overtime to win. Obviously, they get the 6-point win there, and then obviously a kick against the Lions and a close win over a Chiefs team who we've seen at this point is now 2-3. So I really like the Chargers. I think they're just a better team. I will be taking the +2.5 and likely sprinkling money line.
Matt.
I mean, whatever number that Cowboys line is the freest money in the world. I don't care what it is, but I'm hammering the Cowboys. Their offense, it is so crazy. And then their defense is coming out of freaking nowhere this year. I mean, they're insane. They can't stop winning right now. So I don't care what the line ends at. Hammer it, because it's going to happen. They're going to demolish the Pats.
Okay. Bad.
All right. I have two for you.
Oh, you're doubling down.
The first one is the Kansas City Chiefs +400 to win the game by 21 points or more. +400. I think they might. There's a chance they don't even win the game. But I think there's a chance. I think 400 is good value for that game. It's for them to win by 21. I'm taking it. I don't know why. My tongue is blue, I just noticed. But yeah, I'll be taking that. I don't know why, but that one speaks to me. The other one is Justin Fields, 17.5 completions. I'm taking the over against the Packers. They're going to be losing. They're going to be throwing the ball, and they're going to find a way to get 18 completed passes from Justin Fields.
I really like the Justin Fields one.
Yeah, that's a good find.
That's a really good find. Off the beaten path there, Ben.
I know. You know me. Always mixing it up.
Yeah. I'll start with my ride or die. I'll ride that Fields 17.5 completions. It's giving me a boner thinking about it. Dude,
Right?
that's a really good find.
I thought so. I thought it was a banger.
And my die is I really like the Ravens -2.5 at home. So I really like the Ravens, not the Chargers in that game. I don't know. Ravens are giving me vibes recently. I don't know what it is. The way they came back to beat the Colts, it could be a letdown spot because of how hard they had to play to win that game being down, but it just showed how dominant their offense is. And we saw how picked apart the Chargers defense can be. So I like the Ravens.
I think you're sleeping a little bit on that Chargers defense. Like I said, off of the last week,
They let up 42 points.
Yes, absolutely.
I guess a team that can't throw.
I'm saying let's not focus on those outliers. But additionally, I
I just have a hard time.
It begs the question: how did the Ravens end up down 21 points to the Indianapolis Colts, who are? I know the comeback was
Played bad.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time taking the Chargers when they got gashed running the football, and now they're playing debatably one of the best running teams in the entire NFL. That part doesn't make any sense.
Understandable.
Okay. All right. Nate, you tell me your ride or die.
I'm definitely taking the Fields bet, but I think my ride is going to be the Cowboys. You said it was at -4.5 when you last checked it, Jake. Jake said it when he was talking about his underpick. Matt talked about it, and I think that the Cowboys just eviscerate the Patriots. I don't see any world where the Patriots are able to keep this close. So I don't see any way this game doesn't end up not being a touchdown or more win for Dallas. So I will ride with Matt. And then if I had to pick a die, I would die on the 50.5 just because I just said that I like Ben's pick, but I don't necessarily hate it. But if I had to pick one, I can see a world where the Pats put up like 17, 20 points, and then the Cowboys have another crazy week. I can see a world where that happens. So if I had to pick one, I would take that. But honestly, I really don't dislike the pick. I'll probably end up taking it.
All right, Matt.
I'll ride with Jake on the under. I think the Cowboys are putting up a ton of points, but again, Pats probably just aren't going to score that many points, I don't think. And then my die, I think, will be Ben's Chiefs 21 points.
I thought you guys were going to let it slip through. I thought that nobody was going to die on that, and I would be able to be a happy boy, but I guess
that is so many points.
Plus 400 though. There's a chance.
I believe that's only plus 400. That should be way higher.
That should be way
I think it should be
more.
like plus 600.
I think it's okay value.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the football team.
Oh, the football team puts up points though, and the Chiefs have a bad defense, so I don't see that 21 happening.
I'm picturing this game as like 42-20, easy cover.
All right. Fair enough. All right, Ben, wrap it up.
Oh shoot, I forgot I had to be listening to you guys'. My ride would be Matt's pick as well.
Which was
the 4.5 for the Cowboys.
I was testing you.
No. I was listening. I just wasn't picking. I just in my head hadn't decided. But I'll take Matt's. I know it's a little boring, but I agree that they probably destroy the Patriots. I think the Patriots are getting a little extra love on that line for years past. They have a huge fan base that just will bet them no matter what. So I think that line realistically should be more like 8. But since it is not, I will be definitely taking that. My hate might be my own bet, but I won't do that. It is plus 400, guys. So it's not just some willy-nilly pick 'em.
I said to give a lock, and you took KC plus 21 as your lock. That's like a maybe this is something to look out for kind of thing, but saying it as a lock is kind of a bold thing to say.
Well, you should look out for that lock of a bet because that is an absolute banger.
Okay.
Anyway, on top of that, I agree with Jake that the Ravens Charger game scares me. Not necessarily. I think Nate's wrong. I just don't have a read on it. I think it could go either way. I think the Ravens could win that game by quite a bit, and I think the Chargers could win that game. I think the Chargers are the better team, but the Ravens team is really good, and sometimes you just get a Lamar Jackson game that he wins. So yeah. I would be afraid of that pick, so I would die on that.
Depends on what Ravens team decides to show up that day.
Exactly, and I don't like betting on these teams or betting against these teams where sometimes they look like they are about to lose to the Lions, and the next week they're smoking the best teams in the league. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it's fair.
A little scary to me.
Very fair. All right, let's end this podcast. Anything for anyone else to give? Any weekend plans? Anything exciting going on this weekend you want to share with the people? Anything fun?
One fun thing that I just want to throw in is that we were able to fit about a minute to maybe 2 minutes of Russell Westbrook Hate in this pod, which we haven't had the opportunity to do yet. So I was super happy about that.
We're gonna-
I'm gonna
Just
carry
wait
that.
till NBA season starts. It'll be
Yes.
every week.
Yeah, there we go.
big
Guaranteed.
NBA preseason show coming up after this weekend's over.
Can't wait for it.
Very
Season
nice.
starts on Tuesday. I think we're all excited for that.
Pistons championship odds. Take them while they're still low.
You want the lock of the century? My lock for this lock segment will be Pistons over 28 wins this season. It's
Love
happening.
it.
There
There's
we go.
24
41
wins. It's
Yeah,
24 wins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
they're
you-
winning 32.
It was like at one point it was at like 21 or something, and then something happened. I think they like somebody screwed up.
They signed Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
Key piece to their
The
team,
key.
My lord.
That's 3 wins. I mean, that's just an easy 3 wins added.
Yep.
All right. Well, that'll do it for this podcast. I will see you guys. Matt, I'll see you tomorrow. But
Good.
little go green, guys. One more win to a bye
Okay.
week and the chance to play Michigan at home at 7-0.
Looking forward to it.
Go
Need
time.
it.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows,
As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
but it ain't about how hard you hit.
And I hit out the park, no question, with all due respect.
It's about how hard you can get hit.
And you might need, at some point in your life, a little massage on your ass.
And keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Forward.